Hello everyone, it's 𝐄𝐒𝐏𝐀ñ𝐎𝐋 here with the fourth project, 𝐄𝐒𝐏𝐻 in the Optical Illusions. Again, we're going to be working with cubes today, same as the third one we did not long ago. So that's my little example that I made for you. Like you can see, all our entire composition is kind of in the middle, so we have these empty spaces, and I'm still not decided if I'm gonna just shade very lightly here or I'm just gonna leave it white. I'm not sure about it, but if you're working with color, it's gonna be very good if you work with one color here and after that you use some completely different color. Let's say if you have cool colors here, you use something very bright and warm, or opposite. So let's get started. I always start my design with the 8 by 8 square. Okay, once I'm done with this, my next step will be to split this line in half and right here and have a dotted line. Again, a lot of the things that we're gonna start, or we're gonna need this line for it. And now I'm gonna decide the parameters of the composition. So I think I'm gonna go with a dotted line around here and some similar space here, and I'm gonna choose a spot, and let's say right here is gonna be this line. Here I'm gonna connect this, and on this side I'm gonna try to do the same thing. The space now is way wider than the other composition, but let's see how we're gonna do it here. So that's very important to have here. That's gonna be the bottom of the third one, and right in the middle here is gonna be the end of my first cube. So let's just very lightly sketch everything, see if things are gonna fit right before I start going with my darker lines. So if that's my first row here, my second row here, I'm gonna go to the very end here, and my I don't need this, so it's gonna be here actually. Okay, I know it's a little bit confusing, but we're gonna figure it out once we start going down. So if that's the center of my composition, first I'm gonna build my very first cube up here. So I'm gonna make sure that all the sides again, we're gonna see the cubes from above, which means that they're under the horizon. In the last video I explained the whole idea of perspective, third dimension, and how objects change depending on the point of view. So here we're gonna end this cubes about here. And this cube is gonna be slightly thicker than the other ones, but that's fine. They don't have to be exactly the same. Okay, and just because I made this space wider, I don't have to go to the very end of the composition right here. I'll keep these sides the way they are right now. I like that. So we're gonna go up to here. And we're gonna darken up these lines. Okay. Now when I have all my cubes ready, I'm gonna start building the checkerboards that are inside of them. I'm gonna split this space in 3 and this space in 3, and I'm gonna go with some lines going in the very same direction as the outlines of the cube. These are straight down. Here I'm gonna have 3 areas. I'm gonna connect up here, 3. And here we're gonna do the same thing. So that's pretty much my first checkerboard cube. Same we're gonna do here, 1, 2, 3, going down, 1, 2, 3, we go down. And these lines go down, and these lines are connected. One, two, three. We'll continue these lines down. Okay, here I don't like this, doesn't look enough, but enough in perspective. This space here needs to look different. I'm trying to go really fast. When I was working on this one, I spent way more time building it, but I just want to be as fast as possible, and sometimes that doesn't give the best results. And 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's pretty much the very base of my design. And when it comes to shading, we're gonna shade the same way we did the other project. The light is we're gonna imagine that the light comes from here, and we are gonna have this whole wall pretty dark gray. When I start shading, I usually start in this direction, and after that I go in many different directions with my pencil. There are people who work only in grids like this, but I don't like these perfect grids. So I'm just gonna go with my pencil in all directions, trying to apply the very same pressure everywhere. This is not gonna be pure black. This whole wall, let's say, it's gonna be kind of very, very dark gray. That's good for now, just to separate the lights and the darks. Now when it comes to the cube, I'm gonna go really light here because that's gonna be the light side of my cube. That's gonna be very light. This is gonna be really, really dark. Contrast is a very beautiful thing when you're drawing and painting, at least in my opinion. Some people like to work mostly in the gray kind of area, but I like contrast, and I think it really helps every artwork have a bigger impact. So that's why I'm gonna have pretty dark, almost pure black in these checkerboard squares here. And when I start shading here, I'm gonna try to go pretty dark. Again, not black. The only real black areas are gonna be the checkerboard squares. And right here along the edge of the cube, I'm gonna go a little bit darker because that's how the cube is gonna look really dimensional. And up here, I'm gonna try to apply medium pressure when I'm shading. It's not gonna be very dark, not too light, something medium. Okay, and this whole area is gonna be kind of medium grays. That's pretty much the logic of our shading here. And I'm gonna show you on only one more cube. I'll try to go really fast. So we have grayish here, kind of medium grays. Here, very, very little pressure when you're working with your pencil or color pencil. Obviously, if you work with color pencils, choose some really dark color for the darker squares of the checkerboard and something lighter for the other ones. So even if it's not black and white like my design, it can still have some contrast. like you can see here, this whole area is gonna be pretty dark. So that's gonna be really, really dark. Here is gonna be dark. This is medium, medium, and this plane is really light and really light. So that's how we're gonna shade our cube, our cubes. And because I work with black and white, I will leave this whole area here pure white. I'm not gonna put anything here. Maybe I should darken up a little bit. And right here, I need a little bit more darkness. Right along. I think these projects are really, really good exercises in creating the illusion of dimension and shading. Really, really good opportunity for everyone to sharpen their shading skills and try working on value, which is essential for every single drawing or painting project. Working on value, blacks, whites, and different grays in the middle. Okay, so that's how you will build the whole thing. And of course, we cannot finish the project without working on our 𝐄𝐒𝐏𝐻 person. For this particular one, I chose one guy who is jumping, of course, because in 𝐄𝐒𝐏𝐻's work everything is very dynamic. There is a lot of motion going on, and that's why I think I like so much to combine the very strict and angular, mostly optical illusions, with this very free and very dynamic figures of 𝐄𝐒𝐻's people, let's say, his characters. I just randomly pick a color when it comes to each composition. There is no rhyme or reason why this particular one has a blue person or the other one has magenta or red or orange. I just randomly pick a color, trying each one of them to have a very different color. So when we put them all together at the end of all the 8 compositions, they're gonna look good. I'm gonna do my outlining with Sharpie. Okay, and I'm gonna cut my person. I am not someone who likes to work fast. That's not my forte, let's say. I just like to take my time. I'm so much into details and trying to fit as much as I can in the 20 or 25 minutes of these videos is a little challenge for me. A little challenging for me. But I have to try my best. Okay, and I have my figure. I'm gonna darken up some of the edges because in the cutting process I lost some of the really dark Sharpie line, but You can make this person, of course, jumping or running or laying down if you want somewhere on these cubes. I really like this one here for some reason. I think in this light space he looks pretty good. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you next time. Bye.